Welcome back to another cooking episode with Easy Simple Fun. Today I'm going to be making chicken Philly wraps. I have the chicken breast. I already cut up the onions. This is yellow onion, tomato, white American cheese. I normally use Swiss or provolone, but I wanted to try something different. We have these for the wraps. This is the seasoning that I use on the meat and the onions, one seasoning. Feel free to use whatever you want. Mayo, lettuce, and of course you can add peppers, onions, mushrooms. Season it how you want. Make it any type of way you want. The first thing I'm going to do is butterfly these chicken breasts. Well, not butterfly, but kind of cut it in half because you can see, I don't know if you can, it's really thick right here. And when you make chicken Phillies or steak Phillies, you want it to be thin. So I'm going to take the knife, cut the chicken breast in half, and I've already cleaned it and took the fat off. Now it's time to slice the chicken breast up. I had it in the freezer. It hasn't been there that long, so it didn't get as firm as I wanted it to. I don't really have the time for it to sit the full 30 minutes, but I'm just going to go ahead and slice it up very thin, as thin as possible. Like I said, I'm not a professional, so we're just going to get the job done. Slice it up very thin. That helps it cook quicker, and it just tastes better when the meat is thin and not chunky. Although, like I said, this is your dish, do it your way. I just came to show you how I do mine. I do mine pretty basic. I like a basic chicken Philly. I heard that in Philly, Philadelphia, where it was originated, they use yellow cheese. I'm not fond of yellow cheese really on my sandwiches, but go for it. I'm gonna try a new cheese today, actually, white American. I normally use provolone or Swiss, but this is how thin I'm slicing it. If you see some more that you can slice better, I'll do one more on camera. Just rake your knife through it. I think I learned this trick from someone else on YouTube to put it in the freezer to help it slice better. It's actually working, even though I haven't had it in there long. It's way better than trying to just cut it without doing it like I've done in the past. So I think I like this hack. This might be my new thing. I feel professional, y'all. Put me on the cooking show. No, don't put me on the cooking show. But try it out. Now what we're going to do is we're going to saute the onions. I like my onions sauteed, not caramelized. I'm not a professional, but to me caramelized is just when they're just a little bit translucent. Caramelized is when they're not burnt, but they're still crunchy, brown, cooked pretty decent. So that's the goal. I put a little bit of butter and olive oil in the pan. So go ahead and get my onions going. The pan is hot. Turn the heat down a little bit. Let's drop these onions in there. I don't mix my onions around too much. I just let them stay on one side to brown when I first start cooking them. And I let them get brown or however dark you want them on one side before turning them and mixing them on the other side. But you'll see here in a minute what I'm talking about. Okay, the onions have been cooking on one side on medium-high heat now for about 5 minutes. Now I'm going to go ahead and mix them up. See how it's getting that color now? So I like the onions to get their color before I season them. They're about halfway done. This is how I like my onions. If you don't like yours sauteed as hard, you can stop here I'm going to keep going. I'm going to spread them out in another layer again. And this is the seasoning that I'm using. This also has paprika in it, so that's going to help with the color also. But I'm not going to put much because I'm also going to put this on the chicken. You don't want it too saucy with the chicken and cheese. Then I'm going to mix the seasoning in there. I've been cooking it on medium high because I wanted to go ahead and get it the color I want. So I can go ahead and turn it down a little bit now. And we are almost there. I'm going to have to let y'all get a close up because these look so good. I can eat sauteed onions by itself, y'all. Like, I eat it with everything. I probably eat onions with everything except my cereal. Seriously, no joke. I love sauteed onions. Do y'all eat sauteed onions as much as I do? Because I put it on my tacos. I put it on my Alfredo. I put sauteed onions on everything. It's so good. But I'm going to let this cook about 3 more minutes. And I'll be back. It's been about 1 minute, and I'm going to go ahead and stir it up again. Mix it up. Because I don't want it to get burnt. I just like it to be brown and crispy. Look at that beautiful color. And they're still crunchy. They're not soft. They're just right for me. Do them how you want to. But this is almost how I like mine. Maybe 1 more minute. And then I will take them off. Okay, so the onions are done. Go ahead and turn the stove off. I'm going to use this same pan, y'all, for the chicken breast because who likes washing dishes? Not me. I use the same pan. Take these onions off. We're going to take the chicken breast out of the freezer, slice it thinly, and then cook that up, and we'll be pretty much done. I had 3 chicken breasts in the beginning, I believe, and then I split it in half and created 6, and I still have these 2 left. So this would be 1 chicken breast because I split it in 2. But look at all that chicken it made. That went a long way. Now we're going to go ahead and cook the chicken. I'm going to do the same thing I did with the onions and put butter in the pan. This is unsalted butter, so I feel like if you're going to put salt in your dishes, don't put it in your butter. You don't want to have too much salt. But I love butter. I'm going to do butter and olive oil. Just like how I did with the onions. Swirl it around. If you swirl it like this, you become a professional. So make sure you do the swirl. Because we all want to look like we know what we're doing, right? And now, drop the chicken in there. Gonna mix it around a little bit. I have it on about medium-low heat. Trying to get all that butter and olive oil coated all on the chicken. And because it's thin sliced, this is not gonna take long at all to cook. Don't worry, I did not forget the seasoning. That's just old onions from the pan. I like to get it going. And this is almost done. So now we're going to go ahead and season this chicken. This Morton Seasonal has so many different seasonings in it. Personally, I feel like this is all you need. I might put a little bit of pepper. I lied. I put a little bit of pepper also. Just because, I don't know. I'm just going to. Why not? And then when I went to the store, I looked for chicken tenders because it's what it is. It's tender. It's more tender than chicken breast. Chicken breast, if you overcook that, it can be kind of dry. You definitely want to make sure you don't overcook your chicken breast because that's going to be nasty. So as soon as the pink is gone, turn it off. Because if you're going to keep it in the pan, it's still going to be cooking for a little bit. And again, I have it on medium heat, and it's pretty much almost done. And then I'm going to pour the juice out, add the onions back, put the cheese on it, and we're gonna be rolling. This hasn't even been cooking for, has it been 5 minutes? Probably not. And it is almost done. It's almost done. That looks pretty good. Did y'all used to eat that steakums? My parents used to buy us steakums. We crushed them, those steakums. Hey, shout out to steakums. I ain't mad. And then we had Murray's also. Shout out to y'all. Y'all are the reason that I'm cooking this meal today because I liked it so much. And I keep mixing it around just to make sure that I coat every piece, like every piece gets cooked and there's no pink. And it's about done. So I'm gonna turn it off and dump that juice out. Okay, I'm back. I went ahead and tasted a piece. I'm gonna add a little bit more seasoning. Mix that around a little bit. I'm gonna add the onions back. And we're gonna add the cheese. And while the cheese is melting, I am going to heat the tortilla up in another pan. For my wraps, I sometimes do lettuce wraps or tortillas. I'm not sure which one I'm going to do today, if I'm going to do lettuce or if I'm going to do the tortilla, but I have both. I went ahead and rinsed my lettuce off camera. I got that ready. I'm getting ready to put the cheese back on. And I turned the stove back on so that the pan can get a little bit hot, but I'm going to turn it back off. I just wanted it to be hot so that it could melt the cheese. I have the American cheese slicer. So put on however many you want. And I'll come back and show you when it's melted. Okay, I put butter in this pan. I'm gonna drop this tortilla in there. Oh, this is big. I thought it was smaller than that. Bigger than my pan. But it's cool. We'll make it work. I don't have a top to this, so I just put some aluminum over it. I turned the stove. The stove is on off, but it's hot, so that it can be melting the cheese. See that? Once that gets all melted, I'm gonna heat this up, and then we'll be back. The part we've all been waiting for. Time to make it. It's hot. That tortilla is hot. We're gonna put the mayonnaise on. Don't judge me, judge yourself, because I like a lot of mayonnaise, okay? I like a lot. So I'm making this for me. So I'm gonna put how much I want. And I like a lot of mayo. I guess I decided to go with the tortilla today because that's what I'm currently doing instead of just the lettuce. However, I do have the lettuce here. Do I want the meat first or do I want the lettuce first? Okay, let's put the lettuce first. Let's put the lettuce first. This is Iceberg lettuce. I love how crunchy it is, so that's what I decided to use. Look at this, y'all. Can y'all see that? How nice and melted that is. Yummy. So I'm gonna put some on there. Oh, it's so good. Put some of that on there. Get a little bit more onions. And y'all, this is so simple, right? Put the tomato up there. And we in there. We done. Done. Then you're gonna fold it up and eat it. You want some? Try some. Taste it. It's delicious. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for joining us.